Welcome to Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Your host, V&M General Manager Kevin Jean and Iowa Ranger Pro Staffer Steve Graff will keep you up to date on what's happening on the best lakes in the Arklatex region, with a primary focus on Sam Rayburn and Toledo Bend, two guys who have fished at a high level with Pro-Am experience with ABA, BFLs, Toyota Series, and BASS Opens. Anglers with a wealth of knowledge and willing to share. So pull up a chair, kick back, and see why so many anglers watch Tackle Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
Welcome to Tackle Talk Live. That's right. Show dedicated to making you a better angler, especially on Toledo Bend and Sam Rayburn. I'm Steve Graff, along with V&M General Manager Kevin Jean. And Kevin, we got a great guest lined up for today.
We do, Steve. Big week this week, the SEALY tournament going on Lake Fork, and we got the none other than Lake Fork guy, Mr. Jason Conn himself. He was on the water today with a client, so We'll talk to Jason, who's I think been on the water every day for the past couple of weeks. So
we'll get a live report.
We're going to get a live report.
And
Steve, but it's the perfect timing for this tournament, but also for the live report, because there's been a lot changed on Lake Fork in the past month.
Yeah, there really has, especially they got some water in the lake, but it's still, pretty darn low, still over 5 feet low, but they did get some fresh water in. The air temperature has changed a little bit now. They are calling for warmer temperatures this weekend. I know I've got an event at Lake Palestine. They're calling for the low 90s, 93 for the high on Sunday, 92 on Saturday. And so warmer temperatures are coming back. No chance of rain, really, and I think a very low south wind at about 5 to 10 every day. So we'll see how that affects Lake Fork, and maybe Jason can tell the listening audience what you need to be throwing and maybe where you need to be fishing. Do you need to be shallow, deep, whatever? Jason will tell us that here in just a little bit. Let's see here. What else? Oh, we got
Red River.
We got Red River coming up. We got the BAS Open coming up on the river. We got Bass Champs coming up on the river. I'll give you my perspective as to kind of what I think you should or should not do. Red River is one of those bodies of water. It levels the playing field is what it does. It's an equalizer, because if you land on the right spot, you can do really well. But you can also fish a long way in a lot of water and not get bit on Red River. So maybe with today, I'll give you a little insight, maybe how I would attack it and see if it matches what you want to do. But also, not sure yet. I'm waiting on confirmation with a text. Hopefully it'll happen during the broadcast. ABA Solo 150 schedule is pretty much put together. We're waiting on confirmation from one body of water. And if we get that in the next 30 minutes, we will make sure we pass that schedule on to you, because a lot of people are waiting on that schedule to make plans for 2023. And Kevin, last week we went over a lot of schedules for 2023. We had the BFL was out, Texas Teen Trail was out. Bass Champs has their dates set, but they didn't have the lakes determined yet. And again, as they release that, we'll let people know what's going on.
Yeah, waiting to see those lakes from Bass Champs. A couple other things. I know the ABA you mentioned. Texas Dream Trail, we talked about their schedule. The open schedule is looking to be announced the next week or two.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to kind of talk about it. I know a lot of guys is looking into the opens for the upcoming year, kind of wondering, are they coming back to Rayburn? Are they ever going to come back to Toledo Bend?
Right.
So on and so forth. So next week or two, we should be able to have that schedule.
And just a little food for thought. Kevin and I are going to give you a breakdown. With so many circuits, you guys are going to have to make some decisions. What am I going to fish? Because we all know there's only so many weekends in a month. And we all know we can't fish every weekend. Number one, the wife won't let you. Number two, your pocketbook probably won't let you. So, but we're going to give you a little insight, things that you might need to think about, the key reasons maybe to fish a certain circuit. We'll talk about that as well. First, we're going to take a quick break. You're watching Tackle Talk Live. When we return, we'll have Lake Fork guy Jason Conn. You're watching Tackle Talk Live.
Toledo Health is a full-service primary and acute care clinic. Nurse practitioners Jarrett Rule and Melissa Vines bring quality health care that's needed and convenient to the area. Whether it's a stomach virus or a hook in your hand, Toledo Healthcare will try and meet all your healthcare needs. Appointments available and walk-ins are always welcome. So the next time you're feeling down at Toledo Bend, stop by Toledo Healthcare, located on Highway 6 just south of Toledo Town, or you can call 318-508-5323. For all your boating needs, check out Shreveport's newest marine dealer, The Boat Shop. Raymond Kidd and his great staff will take care of all your engine repair needs or anything else that needs fixing. A certified Yamaha Mercury dealer, they carry two of the best fishing boats on the market from Sea Arc and Camus. The Boat Shop is never short on trade-ins, as they're always willing and able to make you the best deal possible. Looking for great boat accessories? They're a full support Garment and Minn Kota dealer. So the next time you're in the market for a new or used boat, or maybe you just need to service the boat you have, let the Boat Shop fix you up. To learn more, call 318-402-0399 or go to ShreveportBoatShop.com. The next time you're on I-49 just south of Natchitoches, Louisiana, stop by Cypress Knee Outdoors. A store within a store, Cypress Knee is located inside 3J's four-way. Whether you need gas, food, or drinks, they have it. While you're there, check out Cypress Knee Outdoors and pick up whatever hunting or fishing tackle you need. Top name brands like Strike King, Santone, Spro, or the #1 soft plastics made, V&M. On the hunting side, they carry guns from Mossberg, Winchester, and Remington. Plus, they've got a great supply of ammunition. Let John Abram and his staff show you everything Cypress Knee has to offer. Located just 1 mile east of 127 on I-49, or call 318-238-HUNT. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
You're watching Tackle Talk Live. We're glad you tuned us in for today. This segment presented by Toledo Health, The Boat Shop, 3J's Four-Way, home of Cypress Knee Outdoors for all your hunting and fishing needs. Make sure you check out 3J's Four-Way, just south of Natchitoches, exit 127 off I-49. And on the phone, we have our special guest, Lake Fork guy Jason Conn. Is Johnny Conn, was that a football player? I think that was a football player.
I don't know who Johnny Conn is.
I think he played quarterback, matter of fact. But anyway, this is Jason Conn, and I don't know if Jason played quarterback or not, but I know he's a leader over there at Lake Fork, and he's a guy you want in the boat with you if you're trying to catch some of them big Lake Fork hogs.
Jason, how's it going, man?
Oh, man, good. How are y'all doing?
Good. You on the water today?
We are on the water.
How's it going today so far?
We've boated 4 today so far.
Yeah.
I got Michael Sample's guide up here too, helping me on a group trip, and I think they've caught 6. They're sitting by us right now. So
okay.
Now,
Good
Jason,
deal.
it makes for a great show when you catch one live on the air. So no pressure, but anyway, just letting you know that.
I already told them that we did that last time. So
we caught a good one last. We caught a good one last time.
I think it was like a 7-pounder or something.
It does help your cause if you can catch them live on air. I think people will probably give you a call. Say, hey, I want a part of that action. But anyway, Jason, lake level right now, it's at 397.13 according to the report I looked at this morning. That's 5.87 feet low. Is the lake still hard to get around on right now?
No, it's not. I mean, as long as you run the main boat lanes and the stuff that you know, I mean, the guide lanes, if you have the guide chips, they're all good. I mean, when the lake got down to like 7, whatever it was, you about to set the hook?
Yeah.
I was hitting some stumps, just barely nicking them with the bottom of the motor at 7. I saw one that was about 6 inches out of the water right off of a boat lane, but now that it came back up 2 foot, all that stuff's like 2 foot under the water now, so it should be good. But yeah, I wouldn't be concerned about that at all. Just stay in the main lanes and the lanes that and you'll be good.
Now, Jason, I know a month ago you and Michael both were catching a fire out of them out deep. Lots of numbers and some good size. Now that water's came up a little bit, are those fish starting to make a push up shallow, or where are you catching them at?
Man, this is the weirdest last 3 weeks that I've ever experienced out here, honestly. The shad are all along the bank, everywhere you go. Pretty much if you got a shad spawn area where you go when you come here and you go to a shad spawn, all those areas right now are covered up with shad. So the bass are, in all those areas right now. I've been catching. I haven't caught any big fish, but you can see we've seen 8+ pounders, running shad up on the bank, and I'm talking like 6 inches of water. So there's no deep bite right now at all. If you're fishing deeper than 10 foot, you're fishing too deep.
Really? Wow.
Now, Jason, with the shad spawn, a lot of times, it seems like it would be easy to catch fish, just tie on a spinnerbait, tie on a Ruka shad or a rattle trap, where you can just catch them all you want. There are times they just won't hit hardly anything. Do you have a secret bait maybe that you would encourage anglers if they're coming over there for the SEALY to tie on for this type of fishing?
Well, if it was a secret, then it wouldn't be a secret anymore. If I told you.
That's true. That's true.
No, man, I mean, if it was me and I was coming out here, I would have a spook on, a bone color or white colored spook.
Yeah.
But as far as what I've been catching them on, I've been throwing a little mini Carolina rig with a port shad on it, and then also been throwing one weightless as well, a white one up on the bank, and then what else? A wacky rig as well with a chopstick on it.
Yeah.
If you're looking for the fish that you need to get checks out here, that's those are the three things I would be throwing right now.
Now for the Carolina rig, what size of weight are you throwing? I mean, if you're throwing it up against the bank, you're throwing it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm throwing a 3/8 on mine with anywhere between 12 and 18-inch leader.
Okay.
Michael's he's throwing a little, just like a pegged weight, or what is it? What are you throwing on yours? Your Carolina rig, your little one? Chopsticks. Yeah, but what weight? He's pegging a 1/4 ounce weight on his.
Oh, okay.
He's actually catching some fish, doing that with the chopstick on it as well. So,
now, what color is chopstick on the chopstick? I love the chopstick. Is there any certain color that you would recommend right now at Fort?
The Gleason Candy is the good one right now. I mean, that's what I've got most of mine on. So
yeah, I've never heard of that color. Is that new?
I don't even know that dude.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But as far as the port shad, if you're throwing it on the rig, it's I'm using the Outlaw Magic on mine, and then the white for just if you're throwing a weightless.
Yeah.
I got manhandled on one yesterday with the weightless. I couldn't even turn it around, and it came off.
Now, are y'all? I mean, what's the keys to throwing this? I mean, y'all going down the bank, Jason, or is it? And it's got to be something that you're throwing this Carolina rig around or somewhere.
Oh, I mean, I'm throwing it is where I'm throwing the spook. I mean, I'm throwing it where I'm throwing everything. I'm just throwing it right up there on the bank. Last week, I got onto a school one day. We caught like 5 or 6 that were on the bank. And I mean, I was literally throwing the spook. It would hit the bank, and as soon as I pull it off into the water, they were hitting it like that shallow.
Wow.
So it's I'm telling you, it's weird. I can't remember the last time I ever seen it like this out here, where just where the water's 90 degrees and they're all on the bank.
Now, Jason, seawalls a lot of times are great. Bass love to push them shad up against those seawalls and ambush them. And are seawalls maybe better than the actual clean banks?
Seawalls in the water?
Yeah. Well, that's true. It's a seawall in the water.
No, here's what I would look for. If you come out here and you know your shell beds or you know your clay banks, anything that has the clay on it, that's all the shad's all over that.
Right.
I mean, there's hundreds of those areas out here, and every one. I haven't been to 100 of them, but the ones I've been to, every single one has shad, and everyone that I've talked to as well has said the same thing. They've, they're the shad around all that stuff as well.
What about a boat dock pattern?
Hey, that's a good catch. Just caught some line. There's not too many of those under the water either. I've actually fished quite a few boat docks, and I have not had any luck in boat docks.
So it's going to be a bank. So this thing is going to fish really small. Then I mean, if you're having to get that bit like that going down the bank, this is it's going to the lake's going to fish really small in my opinion of that many boats.
Yeah, and Jason, another thing I've had some success on over there that I really like doing over there are the road beds and underwater bridges over there. Are those effective right now? Man, I mean, I personally. I'm not going to tell you that they are or they're not because I don't know. I've seen some guys fishing on them. There's a couple of shallow ones that I've seen fish on, but I don't know. I haven't fished them, but I have seen some of the other guys out here on them, so I don't know whether they're catching them or not. And I'm not going to sit here and say that there is not a deep bite at all.
I just personally have not been catching them deep. So, they're, don't listen to me and come out here and don't look and try to find some out deep, because there very well could be. But I personally
there's not a group on every point like there was a month ago.
No, not at all. I mean,
right.
You can go out and see, 4 or 5 scattered fish, and that's it. It's not like 20 or 30 and, you're sitting there catching 10 or 15 of them. It's not like that right now. The lake, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but the lake's actually turning over right now as well. So.
That don't bode well.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's why
the reason.
that's why they're making them shads way up there on the bank. So, saying all that, Jason, prediction: will there be an over caught? How many overs? I know last year when we talked to you on this event, it was you. I mean, you thought they would really catch them, and they did. But this year with these conditions, what are you predicting?
Ooh, somebody else already asked me that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, somebody's going to catch. It's just the way it is. I mean, catching an over is luck. When you come out here, it's just a lucky deal. I've been out here 5 days a week for every day or every week, and I haven't caught an over since probably middle of July. So, but you got one? No. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know the numbers of how many people's actually going to be in the tournament, but I guess probably a 10 or 11 pounder might be the biggest.
Yeah.
If somebody gets lucky and maybe 5 or 6 overs.
Well, especially with the lake being low, it kind of narrows the lake down. It shrinks it down. Somebody's going to, like I said, drag a Carolina rig or throw a big 11-inch worm out there and hook a big one, So. Well,
I mean, I'm telling you right now, the guys that are sitting in the boat with me, we have seen 8+ pounders blowing 5, 6, 7-inch shad out of the water and on the bank. But you throw over there, you don't get bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just, so that's where it's just going to come, the luck deal. Somebody's just going to get lucky, throw over there and catch one that's blowing one out or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jason, another thing too, would you? There's 2 ways you can go on fork, especially in this kind of event. You can try to target the big fish, or do you try to go for the unders and just try to get good checks and maybe get lucky?
That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
I would definitely just. I mean, if it was me, I would do exactly what I've been doing. And I mean, we've been catching some giant fat, unders that you could probably win an hour with.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be some unders that win out, you're going to win hours with, some, I would guess probably close to 3 pounders, probably, with all the shad that's on the, up there. They're chowing
They're
down
gorging up right now. Yeah.
They're little football swimming around.
I've caught some fish in the back of Glade that was in. I don't know why I just said that. Now everybody's going to be back there. But you can't get back there now. But I'm talking like I had my trolling motor up all the way as high as you could get it. And I couldn't go any further back. But I'm still throwing, 30, 40 foot back there and catching 4 and 5 pounders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that just tells you how shallow these fish are.
Yeah, it sounds like they're in the mud. I mean, Lord.
Yeah, they are.
Wow.
They are. And then you get into the little gut of those areas and you see them blowing shad out of the water all the way in the back of the,
right.
Yeah.
4 foot of water. So it's all over the place right now. But I mean, I would just, if it was me, I would be out here fishing shallow and, find something that you're confident in throwing and just, put it in your hand. Especially first thing in the morning, I would definitely have a spook, rolling around these points,
right.
And at least to have it ready to go if you see them schooling. Because they are schooling. I mean, they're just not. It's not like a big school of 10 fish coming up. It's like 2 or 3, coming up.
Yeah.
There are some giants that are up shallow. So
okay.
I would guess somebody's gonna get lucky and catch them. So
all right,
Lake Fork. It just hasn't been me lately. So
yeah. Well, Jason, we appreciate Lake Fork guy Jason Conn. Jason, somebody wants to make a trip with you this fall. Are you one of those guys you kind of shut it down in the fall and do a little duck hunting, deer hunting, or do you fish year round?
I fish till about probably November, and then I shut it down.
Okay.
I fish just mostly during the week, but fishing kind of gets tough. But I'm actually going to be back at it in January. We'll be live scoping here and at Ivy. So
yeah. So how can somebody get in touch with you if they want to make a trip?
They can just reach out to me through my social medias. It's all Jason Conn Fishing.
Okay. All right. Jason, appreciate you, bud. Thank you for your time. And, hey, go out there and catch a big one today.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys. Yeah, thank you all.
All right. Lake Fork guy, Jason Conn, appreciate him coming on with us today and gave us some good insight, kind of what's actually going on as he's in the boat as we speak. So you don't get a more live report than that.
That's interesting. One, that the lake's turning over like it is.
Yeah.
And two, that there's that many shad up shallow. And let me tell you something, Stephen. He says, there might be some fish out deep. He hasn't found them. If Jason Conn and Michael Samples both, and I know Michael, if they're up on the bank right now, there's not many out deep. I can promise you that, because them two want to be offshore.
Yeah, I got another buddy of mine that guy's over there, and he's a deep water guy, and I don't think he's out deep either. So take that hint, guys, because that's a clue. Not saying you can't go find one on an underwater, deep water bridge. I know the bridges have been successful in the past. But
I think you can catch a fish on Lake Fork, a fish. I'm not saying a big one. I think you can catch a fish on Lake Fork year-round on a bridge somewhere on a pylon with a drop shot.
Right.
Now, it might be 10 inches long, but I bet you can catch one there year-round. But as Jason said, I can, especially if they're up there feeding with them unders, them little unders get fat.
Well, the golden rule when it comes to bass fishing, follow the bait fish, guys, and they're on the bank where the shad are. That's where they're going to be. So, so good luck with that. And real quick, we got some fall tournaments coming up on the river here. The BAS Open September 22nd, 24th. I've had a couple of guys actually contact me that are fishing this event. And, there's no secrets. I'm not here to reveal any secrets, but the river, you have two choices. You got backwater or you got main river, guys. And for all you guys coming over for Bass Champs as well, listen to what I'm fixing to tell you, because there will be some fish left over in Pool 5 out of the Clarks, out of the Red River South Marina after this BASS event, because coming up will be Bass Champs right after that. So there will be some retreads or some leftover fish in those areas that were released in that area. And you can do good in that area.
Now, let me tell you this right quick, because I don't know if you know this yet. So the Open is not this weekend, but next, correct?
Next, right.
Steve, they've got a pretty good sized tournament this weekend out of Red River South.
Oh, really?
It's the Walt Adams Classic, the first annual Walt Adams Classic, September 17th, Red River South, weigh-ins at 3 o'clock. Oh. And I think it's going to be an actual, they got food, raffle, lots, it's a memorial. So how does that change the game for the Open guys?
Same deal. Open guys, though, are a different category of anglers, in my opinion. I'm not saying there's not any good anglers in these tournaments coming up, but when you bring those elite guy levels into a body of water, they tend to attack it a little differently than.
Now let me ask you this, because and me and a good friend, Dean Lewis, H&W Marine, we had this conversation last year. Bass Champs, wasn't the championship on Red River last year?
It's been there two of the last 3 years, I think.
It was there last year.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It was OHI.
Anyway, no, it was on Okeechobee last year.
Year before last, I think it was. Me and Dean were talking. Practice for these guys was really good, especially for the locals month out or so. I mean, catching them. But here's the problem, Steve. When you get all these guys over here for a week to a week and a half practicing, there's not that many fish.
No.
And when you go to practicing and catching all these fish, come tournament time, they're hard to catch.
Yes.
Especially in those backwaters.
Yep.
So that's the problem they're fighting is practicing. It would be better if Bass Open had a no practice rule, show up and everybody go fishing, because they would catch them then.
Yeah. If there's ever a place that you would want to shake fish, it would be on the Red River.
Yes.
If you find a spot, whether it's a point, it's got maybe a little current coming around it. Another thing you can look for, especially if you're fishing down around the locks, when they're locking somebody through, it creates current in certain areas. And I'm telling you, that current may only last for 10 minutes. But if you can figure out where those bass will literally rush to that spot, and they will set up, and you can catch them for a 10-minute period. And when that locks through locking, those fish will swim off. They'll leave it. But it's like a magnet, I'm telling you. And when you find that little spot, again, learn to shake fish off. Throw screw locks. Don't throw hooks, especially in practice. These fish are fixing to get beat up a lot.
Yeah.
And like Kevin said, there's not a lot of fish in the river right now. So there's probably a lot of little fish, but when you find a good spot, do not wear it out. Don't hook fish. Leave it alone. Check it with a screw lock, maybe in practice, but don't throw a hook in there.
Next question for you. And guys, I'm asking Steve all these questions. He's the local here. I went to college in Northwestern. I fished the river a little bit. He's the river hammer. I'm not, so I'm asking all these questions to Steve here. Will the main river play more role than in the past?
Yes, it will now, but the river has changed a lot. Ever since the 2016 flood, we lost a lot of our backwater areas to silting that have silted in. We lost a lot of our vegetation. Now, some of it's coming back. It's slow to come back, but it is slowly coming back. But the majority of your fish now, and this time of year, you better be on the river, whether you're fishing reeds or rock jetties. Here'd be my advice. There are some still big fish in the backwaters. Get your limit early on Red River. Get that 8 to 10 pounds in the boat, and then go look for your bigger fish. That would be my plan.
Limit's
if I'm going
crucial.
out there tomorrow, that's exactly what I'd be trying to do, because the quicker you can get 10 pounds in the boat, 10 pounds on the river may get you a check every day.
Oh, no, there ain't no doubt. It gets you
you're
a check.
gonna get a check.
But my question is, does 10 pounds a day, I'm going to say 10 pounds a day gets you to championship day.
Oh, yeah. No, you're
10
exactly
pounds
right.
a day will get you championship
You're
day.
exactly right. And that's how difficult it can be on the river. But that would be my advice. Get your limit. Find your good river spot. Again, you got two choices. I am not a guy that likes to hang around the boat ramp and fish 5 and stay up there and fish around everybody else. That is not me. I'm making that run south. I'm either going all the way to 3. It's a 2-hour run from Shreveport, Red River South, all the way to the Natchitoches Cut at By Pier. If you can get on By Pier and there's a little current in Pool 3 and By Pier, you can hurt some people's feelings making
You
that
don't
long.
have long to catch them.
You don't. You got 4 hours. I can tell you, I've been there. I've made these runs before. You got 4 hours, basically.
If locks go your way.
If you can lock through and you don't have any traffic and things go your way, you're 4 hours down. It's 2 hours down there and 2 hours back to Pool 3 to Natchitoches. Now, you can go down to Pool 4 at the lower end of 4 in about an hour.
Yeah.
And you'll be fine. But if you're looking to go get really away from people. Now, the bass champs, Kevin, they can trailer.
Are they
They're
gonna be allowed to
trailering. Yeah, I found that out last week. A friend of mine's fishing this event.
Now, that changes the game.
And he's putting in way down in 3 on the final, on that second day. That's a game changer. Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm different because it's going to be hard to get a limit. And I don't like to fish around people, but it doesn't bother me bad because I'm born and raised Toledo Bend. So it doesn't bother me as bad. So I am, especially knowing this tournament is the weekend before, if it's going to be a good sized tournament, there's going to be that many fish released at Red River South. I probably don't go out to the main river. I just because it's harder to get 5 fish on Red River. If there's that many fish there, and I know I can slow down and finesse fish right here all day long, and I'll get my 5.
Yeah.
Chances are day 1 I might do that just to be in the hunt. Day 2 I might make that run, but retreads always plays huge player on Red River the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, and for me, boat number is critical on Red River, especially on day 1. That would determine if I stay in 5 up there at that pool around Red River South. If I get an early draw, I know 2 or 3 spots that I know hold fish on all the time. If I can be one of those first 2 or 3 guys there, I'm going to stay in 5. I'll do like Kevin said. I'll stay right there close to the ramp. I'll catch them retreads. Try to get me a good limit, and then I'll pull a trolling motor up and go hunt for some bigger fish. But that's great advice right there, because I'm telling you, boat number is critical. Now, day 2, you got to remember, they're going to flip-flop the field so in those events. So you got to change your thought process completely then, because somebody else is going to beat you to those spots on day 2. But anyway, that's a great food for thought right there. That's our advice. That's what I think I would recommend how you try to attack Red River, and don't get discouraged. Red River's a place you can go catch a lot of fish. You pull up on the right spot. To me, it's not a place you go down a bank and chunk and whine and chunk and whine. I think Red River, to me, all the things that I do, it's spot fishing. You got to move around and hit those spots. You know, whether it's the end of a jetty, where 2 jetties come together, or maybe 2 sloughs come together in the back of a pocket, a backwater point with reeds on it. Yeah. It's spot stuff. Yeah. That's why I fish on the Red River. That, to me, is the best way to fish the river.
But the best advice that I think we can give you is don't catch them in practice.
No.
Guys, it's not replenishing. I promise you,
No.
it's not replenishing.
You can hook yourself and destroy yourself by catching them early in practice. So good luck with that. Also, upcoming events. Of course, we just talked about the Bob Sealy. We've got Bass Champs coming up. The ABA Divisional Championship that I'll be fishing this weekend is at Lake Palestine. I think there's like 55 guys that have qualified for that, and about 45 co-anglers. So it's going to be a small event, but it's going to be this kind of the best of the crop of the ABA divisional in each division, South Texas and East Texas. So it should be a really good tournament. And but I'll be there for this is Saturday and Sunday. And then also, Kevin, the Northwestern State Tournament coming up. We got a flyer here on that. And they're going on several bodies of water in this area.
They are. I mean, it's October 15th. Cane River, Sibley Lake, Red River, Black Lake. To me, it's a 5-fish limit deal. First place guaranteeing $10,000.
Yeah, guaranteeing.
But I mean, let's just be honest here, Steve. If you're guaranteeing $10,000, 5-fish limit, it's Cane River versus Black Lake.
Yes, exactly.
Is what it's going to come down to, because you can catch a sack on either lake.
Yep.
So guaranteeing first place, second place, third place, big bass $2,000, 3-pound bass exact $2,000. But now I don't know how that's going to work, because it's a 5-fish limit deal. I don't know how they're going to do this 3-pound exact. Ooh, that's anyway.
Yeah,
that's different. But
it's gonna make for a long weigh in when you're having to pull fish out and say, "I want you to weigh this one," and it ain't really close. And some people aren't good at recognizing fish, or
I'll let them figure that one out. But it's going to be a good event. I mean, October 15th, $150 entry fee. Again, those fishing lights and weigh-in location will be at NSU at Collins Pavilion. So I'm hoping to fish it. If I'm not fishing, I'll be there at registration for V&M. But I mean, at weigh-in for V&M. But I'm hoping I'll be able to fish this event.
Well, Kevin and I both may be there. I'm hoping I can be there too. I'm waiting on something that I may have to be involved in. But anyway, if I'm not, I'm going to be emceeing the weigh-in for this event. So we'll see how that goes. And hopefully I may even be able to fish part of the event. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to take one more quick break. And when we come back, we got the Bassmaster Elite Series schedule has been released. And we'll talk about that when we return with more Tackle Talk Live.
Are you looking for the finest custom-built rods ever made? Then look no further than Pride Rods. Fishing rods built to last and made in Montgomery, Texas. Constructed by Mr. Billy Kistler with the finest Gary Loomis North Fork composite blanks available. They offer a complete line of both spinning and casting rods for both fresh and salt water. Pride Rods do more than pass the eye test. They excel in performance as well. Ask your local tackle dealer if they carry Pride Rods and pick one up and try it for yourself. You'll see why so many anglers are using Pride Rods. To learn more, go to priderods.com or call 832-418-6040. The next time you're headed for Toledo Bend or Sam Rayburn, stop by Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle. They have an awesome supply of everything you'll need to catch the big ones. Whether your trip calls for bass fishing, white perch tackle, catfish bait, or the ultimate fighting shiners, Keith's Tackle has you covered. Keith and former Elite Series pro Ben Matsubu also have the latest information on what, how, and where you need to be fishing on Sam Rayburn or the Bend. So for all your tackle needs, check out Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, located just off Highway 21 on the Texas side of Toledo Bend, or call 409-625-0181. The Lakes Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency that has been taking care of Texans' insurance needs for over 25 years, offering auto, homeowners, boat, RV, life, health, and commercial insurance. Owner Clark Moore is a local guide and tournament angler who understands your insurance needs and wants to be your go-to guy for all your insurance needs. For a free quote, give him a call and see why so many Texans trust the Lake Insurance Agency. Located at 805 Southeast Stalling Suite 3, Nacogdoches, Texas, or call 936-205-4467. You're watching Tackle Talk Live, a show dedicated to making you a better angler. Now back to the guys with all the inside scoop, Kevin Jean and Steve Graff.
You're watching Tackle Talk Live. We thank you for tuning us in today. This segment's presented by Pride Rods, Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, and the Lakes Insurance of Nacogdoches, Texas. 2 locations, one in Broadus and one in Nacogdoches, so check it out. And also, Kevin, right now, the 2023 Bassmaster Elite Series schedule has been released. And anything on the schedule really jump out at you that you're like, wow, that's something new or different? Or
They are staying East Coast hard. I know
yeah, they
that.
really are.
I mean, they're coming to Texas. They're coming to Sabine River in what, June?
June 1st through the 4th.
Ooh.
Yep.
But I mean, it is straight East Coast, which I get it. I mean, you got to go where the money's at. But it's a whole lot more east north. I mean, it's straight East Coast outside of Texas.
No, you're exactly right. Maybe that's why a lot of those guys moved over to Alabama, Georgia that come from the east. They don't.
Well, it usually is not this bad.
You're right.
It's not. I mean, they've been this year. They were at Lake Fork and Alabama. I mean, they've been.
Again, how much of that is put out on bid? That's usually what they do. It's all put out on bid.
Yeah, 100%. You pay me to come here.
Yeah,
which hey, and that's how you have to do it.
Right.
Like I said, there's going to be some South Carolina, North Carolina boys extremely happy.
Oh yeah, you're exactly right. First one, February 16th through the 19th is going to be Lake Okeechobee. Okeechobee's really better in early January because that's kind of the peak of the spawn. That is a little late here for Okeechobee. February 23rd to 26th, Bainbridge, Georgia, Lake Seminole. March 24th, 26th, Tennessee River at Knoxville.
Now, that's the classic.
Oh, yeah, you're exactly right. That is the classic. That is the classic. Good event. I mean, that was the Pittsburgh tournament that was really tough.
Well, Knoxville was a good event. It was a great tournament. I was there. We had a booth. Good event. Great location as far as people coming in and out. A lot of people was there. It's not
is Old
the
Hickory
best
coming
fishing.
to play here?
I don't know enough about it, Steve,
Yeah,
to tell you that.
I think
It's
it does.
not. It's not good fishing.
Right. Going to be an average tournament.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. April 20th to the 23rd, Lake Murray, South Carolina. 27th of April to the 30th, they're going to be at Santee Cooper, South Carolina.
Now that'll be a catch 'em event there.
Yeah.
That'll you better catch them.
Yep, exactly. May 11th through the 4th, Shelby County, Alabama, Lay Lake will be hosting that event. June 1st through the 4th, Orange, Texas will be hosting right there on the Sabine River. Could be a tough event right there.
Yeah,
Could be a tough
you go
event.
from Lay Lake in May to Sabine River.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
That's going to be a tough tournament.
But then they go to some smallmouth factories.
Yeah, then we headed north, Lake Michigan in late July, 27th through the 30th at Lake St. Clair. A lot of guys love going there. August 17th. There's really not a northern fishery these guys probably don't like going to.
No.
August 17th through the 20th, Plattsburgh, New York, Lake Champlain, another great fishery. Then you get the St. Lawrence River, August 24th to the 27th. That wraps it up for the Bassmaster Elite Series schedule. The open schedule will, like Kevin thought, comes out maybe another month, do you think?
Yeah, well, no, it'll be sooner than that. I think within the next week or two.
Okay.
So we should have that schedule out, next week or two. And that's going to be interesting. How they're going to do the opens next year. I'm interested to see the schedule just because basically – you can fish a division, but it's not going to do anything for your overall points. So a lot of guys is trying to decide if they want to fish, all the opens next year, is really waiting on that schedule. So it'd be interesting to see how they come out with that schedule.
Yeah. Next week, I'm pretty sure 98% sure we will have the ABA Solo 150 Series schedule and probably the ABA Open Series schedule for East Texas and South Texas. I know Chris Whalen was looking to try to combine those two into one circuit. Don't know if that's going to happen, but either way, hopefully we'll have those schedules for you as well. I know a lot of you guys out there like to fish that. So, Kevin, that's going to wrap us up for today.
Yeah, we're good.
We appreciate y'all tuning us in today. Thank you. Spread the word about our program. We appreciate each and every one of you. Love the comments. Thank you for doing that on our Facebook page. Keep them coming. We really appreciate it. Negative or positive. We'll take them either way. But we look forward to visiting with you more next Tuesday, same time, 11:30, right here on Tackle Talk Live.